So I mean, if New York cannot handle it, then you can imagine.
But the US is very,
They're very regulated anyway.
Yes. As well.
Picking up from the prostitution thing, you were interviewed recently on Al Jazeera or some time ago. I think you have interest like rape and abuse and female trafficking.
I mean, I'm a social activist. Yes. Tell you about what?
Tell us a bit about that. Do you have like an NGO? Do you support?
No, I don't have any NGO. But after writing on Black Sister Street, I was approached by some NGOs, and I was in Nigeria 2 years ago with an Austrian NGO for an anti-human trafficking event, and we went round. We went to we were in Lagos State, we were in Abuja, and we were in Benin City. And in Benin City, we targeted schools. So we went to especially girls' schools, because 99.9% of Nigerian prostitutes in Europe are from Benin City. And so that was our target group, young girls between 14 and 16. We wanted to get them and to talk to them about the dangers and about the realities of working of the sex industry in Europe.
That's very good. It's a sector that I don't think, as much as there's a lot of noise about it, it's not necessarily dying off, human trafficking. And so I think we can also continue to stuff like this.
Yeah, but NAPTIP is also doing a good job. And the sad thing is the country is so bad. There are some people who can't seem to escape the vicious cycle of poverty. And for them, this has become the only way to escape it. When I was doing my research, and not even when I was doing the research, but as recently as about 6 months ago, I interviewed a former Nigerian prostitute from Benin City for a Dutch TV station. And she said she was brought in by her father. Her father was basically her pimp. But her father hadn't told her she was coming in to work as a prostitute. And so when her father sent her to this woman in Antwerp, where she was supposed to stay and from where she was supposed to work, and the first night she arrived there, the woman told her, "Here are your work clothes, you start work tonight." And she said, "No, I want to talk to my father. This isn't why I came here." And she got on the phone with her father. And her father said, but don't you want to own your own house or your own car? And she said, yes. And I asked her afterwards, I said, well, do you hate your father? She said, no, because in Benin City, I had nothing. And at least he gave me a chance to become somebody. And she no longer works as a prostitute. Cut a long story short, some things happened. She fell out with the madam, and her client who helped her eventually became her husband. And he was telling me that up until today, that every weekend he has to drive her from Antwerp to Aachen to go and clean her father's house to show her gratitude for having been brought out of poverty. So it's and a few months ago, 2-3 months ago, I was in Cologne interviewing another former Nigerian prostitute with a German journalist friend of mine whose interest is also in Nigerian prostitutes. I mean, he does documentaries, and she was pimped by her auntie.
So it's a very tough cycle to break, obviously, because families are involved. There's a lot of interest, emotional connections as well in all of that.
It's not even just emotional. It's pragmatism, basically. It's just people being pragmatic. This is the way to make money, and it's not. When Lukas Rugler, so my German journalist friend, did a documentary some years ago on Nigerian prostitutes who were deported from Italy. So he went to Benin City, he spoke to some of them, and he asked why the Oba wasn't doing anything at all about it. And one of the NAPTIP officials said that they'd actually asked the Oba if he could interfere. And the Oba said, well, I tried to once, and the mothers themselves came to the Oba and said, you know what, keep out of our business. You're not giving us money, you're not going to replace the money that we're getting from our daughters. And if you dare to interfere, we're going to have a protest march, and we'll come naked to your palace. So the Oba said, you see, my hands are tied, I can't do anything.
So the point of all this is that the root of everything is basically poverty. People were empowered and they had some source of income at least. They won't be that necessarily...
Yes, and I mean, and sometimes when people talk of poverty, they're thinking of, not being able to eat 3 times a day. But that's
it's
not...
beyond that.
It's beyond... It's a sense of entitlement as well. They're living in a place where, they see their next door neighbor suddenly build a duplex, and then they want the same things. I think it's natural. They're making choices that I would not make, but they don't see any other options.
Yeah. Picking up from that, I mean, you used to write. You've written a lot of articles about the ills of governance in Nigeria. Poverty is a direct result of that.
Yes,
why do you think we're where we are in this country?
Corruption, I think. I mean, it's basically everything boils down to corruption. I was coming down here today, and we passed by really awful, untarred road.
Okay.
You know, full of holes and full of water. And this isn't a road that should be in 21st century Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, Nigeria has got enough money, but somebody's probably been paid to fix that road.
Probably twice or 3 times.
Yeah, and the money's gone somewhere. And I think we've also come to accept corruption as a part of life, that we don't even notice it anymore. I came into the country a few days ago, and I asked one of the airport porters, I think that's what they're called, to help me with my luggage. And even before we left where the carousel was with the luggage, they're saying, we're going to pass by customs, or we're going to pass by whoever else.
You ordered money already.
And he said, you should have some money to give them. I said, why? He said, well, because that's what we do. I said, no, I don't have to. Why do I have to give anybody money?
It's not what we do.
You know?
Okay, you used to write a lot on Nigerian papers. What happened? Are you taking a break? Are you going to come back?
No, I never got paid.
Okay.
We had a contract. And
being my Igbo sister, money is very important.
No, it's not money. I think it's integrity as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a contract with somebody, you honor the contract. So I had a contract with Daily Times. Was it Daily Times? I think I was supposed to do
Daily Post.
No, it wasn't Daily Post.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say the name if I'm not sure. But I had a contract with them. I was supposed to write an article every month for a certain amount of money every month, very token sum. And I did 3 articles, and before they paid for the 1 month, and they were telling me lots of stories. I don't work like that.
Yes.
You know, I think integrity is very important to me. And
I think a lot of writers out there are very happy with you. I mean, it's sort of a familiar story in Nigeria, sadly. That writing is sort of seen as, okay, you write.
Mm-hmm.
Why should you necessarily
no,
get paid for it?
For me, it's my bread and butter.
Yes,
it's my
it's
career.
very important.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote an article once on Chimamanda. Are you guys close? What's your relationship with her like?
I've known her since the 80s, so I've known her for a very long time.
Okay.
And yes, we are friends. Yeah.
Do you guys have like an association of Nigerian writers abroad? Or
No.
you guys meet up and...
No, we don't have an association of Nigerian writers in the diaspora.
I was hoping there was one. That you guys are going to maybe put heads together and give us an amazing book. Let me just go into this. Let me put you on the spot. Did you vote in 2011 in Nigeria?
I can't vote in Nigeria. We've been fighting for diasporan vote. I can't vote in Nigeria because
Why
I don't
didn't you
live
come
in
back to
Nigeria.
vote?
You can't vote if you're not resident in Nigeria.
Would you come back in? You have a Nigerian passport.
I
Would
do
you
have a
come back in
Nigerian
2015 to vote?
If I'm allowed to, yes, definitely.
Yes, you would be allowed to. You have a Nigerian passport. What you do is you come back and register.
Okay,
when
why
the
not?
session starts. Would you promise me that you register to vote?
Yes, definitely. I'm very passionate about politics. One of my best kept secrets is that I ran as a councillor in Belgium in 2006. I actually won a seat, and but I gave up halfway. It was supposed to be a six-year term.
Interesting.
I gave up in 2009.
Why was that?
Because I was juggling too many things: kids, writing, traveling. Something had
would you ever run for
something
office
had to
here?
give. In Nigeria, not at the moment. No, not the way it's being done here.
What sort of office would you run for if you were here? Local government, states, legislature, president?
All of the above.
All of the above. I like that. Speaking of president, would you vote for President Jonathan in 2015?
No. I don't think he's done a good job.
Why not?
Because I'm dissatisfied with a lot of things that he's done. No, at this moment, right? Maybe by 2015.
What's the one thing that he could do that would change your mind? Power, security. What is the one thing that would?
For me, security.
If that works, you're almost
no, not just that. I think it's beyond giving a one word answer, a 1 sentence answer. Lots of things have got to work, and if he does get his act together between now and 2015, definitely I'll vote for him. I mean,
any books in the works when I'm looking at a new book?
I just submitted a manuscript to my agents.
Okay.
Set in the 18th century.
So we're looking at this year.
I have
hopefully.
absolutely no idea.
Okay, till they approve.
Yes.
We're rooting for you.
Until he sells it. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations on the NLNG prize.
Thank you very much.
I'll talk to her after we go off air for my cuts, since she doesn't want to talk about the money on air. Thank you very much for being here. It's been a very wonderful conversation with her.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck in everything.
Thanks.
Hope to have you back when we have your new book, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's been Chika Unigwe in the house with us. We'll be right back with more interviews. Great Entertainer is going to be in the house with us. We'll be right back.